Well, hello there YouTubers, welcome back. After I glued this together, I was playing around with it and it came apart. So we had to add more glue, so I don't think this is going to be very easy to get apart. So so I just come to the bench and I just wanted to see what oh, that one wasn't even on. See where we are with this. We put tons of glue on, so I don't know if this is going to hold or not. So and then I've discovered another problem which we didn't foresee. I don't quite know even if we've solved it yet, to be honest. So let me just show you what the problem is. So the other day, might have even been yesterday, I started to grind away this because this wouldn't fit in there. The size of the hole is ideal for the wires to go through, and when it was new it fitted these slots. There's 3 of them. This one's been drilled out, or ground out I should say, but it wasn't meant for this, so I've been kind of struggling to get that to fit. So let me show you what I have got. I need 2 hands for this, just a sec. Right. I'm going to have to do a bit more grinding, but we're in trouble. Or we could be. Do you see that yellow wire? It's getting caught on the case. And it's got nicked, but it's not gone through the insulation. No, we can't just force this in. So it looks like we're going to have to try more grinding, and if this doesn't work, then we're going to have to abandon this idea and then go for what we should have been doing in the first place and mounting the things underneath. You know, sometimes when you do stuff like this, it doesn't always go to plan. I'm one of these ones that when doing videos and stuff, I post everything, even things that don't go to plan. Not always things go the way you want them to go. So we'll try and grind this out quite a bit more to see if we can get anywhere. If we can, brilliant. If we can't, then we're going to have to go to another plan B. Yeah, plan B. There's a bombshell. Because not always things go to plan. Oh, this is taking a little bit longer than I thought. Every now and again I've been coming in here and playing with this. I haven't released it yet, but this is the video that I'm about to release. It's already uploaded under private. Just to show you, attachment on the end of the Royby, yeah. Not the Dremel. I've got. So every now and again I like to look at the videos that I've made just to check to make sure there's no mistakes. You know, I play them all back on this. Right. What I've been doing is been trying to. Oh dear. Trying to rectify this. This is basically me making a meal out of what would have been a simple job. I wish I had gone down that road now, putting terminal strips underneath, but unfortunately we chose to do this way, and we have to go with it. It's all about learning about your mistakes and learning about doing things. Now what we've been doing is grinding out this hole bigger to make room for the end of this cap with the centre part, which is sticking out. Now it would have made life easier if we'd used smaller caps, but this is all I could get. So the idea is that we put this through, bend these over inside and solder them. I put a bit of heat shrink tubing on the yellow, to try and protect that, because these edges get sharp, you know, when you've been grinding away. And I've been grinding away while I've been watching a film, you know, watch the film, adverts, come in here, grind a bit more, you know. And this is how we're doing. This is taking a lot longer than I thought. A lot longer. I mean, the wiring up of it is easy. It's just the, you know, just taking a lot longer than I thought. And then it's probably going to be cockeyed afterwards. It's going to be leaning over, I think, because that ring isn't on there straight. It's lower this end and higher that end. So it's going to be leaning over at an angle. Never mind. Never mind. It's trial and error, and this is how you learn how to do things, is by having a go and doing things and realising that there is probably a better way. So we're getting there. Slowly but surely we're getting there. It's just you know, you've got to try things and see what happens. Okay, I'll let you know when we get to the next stage. Right, I've got the cap in from underneath, and I'm showing you what it looks like from the bottom of the radio. That's me holding it with my hand. In case any of you are wondering, yes, I have removed the valves. I didn't want to put them through all the vibrations going through the chassis of me grinding a bigger hole, and it's taken a lot of grinding, mine. Again, the Dremel has come to the rescue again. Wow, I tell you, best money I've ever spent. I've got rid of the burrs on the bottom and the top, and I had to keep giving the Dremel a rest to cool down, because it gets warm, you know. Just let it cool down every now and again. Don't have to do it all in one go. We don't have to be in a rush. Take our time, and we'll get there. So the plan is, now, so we've made a mounting out of a molehill, might as well go along with it now, is to bend this tab over onto the chassis and the other one onto the other side. And somehow I'm going to have to get enough heat there to melt solder. Now remember, this is just to hold the can in. We don't need it to be an earth. This is our, let's look at the camera to see that you can see what we're looking at. This is our ground, which would have been these tabs. This is going to go through a hole somewhere, not that hole, because it's too near coil, and go onto one of these grounding points. If it's not long enough, we'll make it longer. Or I could put a hole through, drill a hole through the bulkhead and send it through, maybe. I hope I've made it long enough. If I haven't, I'm going to have to make it longer. I thought I put enough wire on there. This is long because it was maybe needing to go all the way to over here. If I didn't like joining it on there, because that one there is a bit too short. Right. Can you see that moving? The red one on top of the red and coloured one here. Get a pointer, never a pointer around when you want one. Oh, which is this wire here, which goes all the way through to one of these pins on one of these two valves, I think. I think it's this valve here, one of these pins here. So as I say, we made a mounting out of a molehill over this. Lessons learned next time when I have to do a cap. Order the caps first and see how they fit. See if they fit inside the can, or likelihood of fitting in the can, and then we wouldn't have to go through all this. Alright, that's lessons learned. More to come later. I'll be filming some more. Right, I've been chewing on with this for a while. Just thought I'd let you know how we get on. Very difficult to solder wires together in such a confined space. I'm going to admit I really struggled to get these in, and I would like it a lot neater than that, but just can't get my hands in there. I need more heat, and I wanted to resolder these two tabs back onto the chassis to hold it in place, and unfortunately I can't get enough heat there, so I need to get something with more heat. And also we have installed this capacitor here at the top of the screen. That went perfectly, cleaned all the joints up with the alcohol as usual, even though they didn't do it in the old days. You can see all the old flux around. This is about the best I can do for the moment. And mistake, I wanted this earth wire to attach to this point here. What was I thinking? He's nowhere near long enough. I mean, even if I managed to get it through that hole down there. So what we might probably try and do is try and attach this earth wire to one of these grounding points when we do finally get it soldered. That's how we are so far. Next one to do is this capacitor here, and no doubt that'll be awkward too. Okie dokie, that's so far so good. At least the wires on that one is longer. That does make a difference. I've worked around it. I've used my blowtorch to heat up the end of my iron, and then put it down on there. It's as solid as a rock. That's fantastic. It really is. It's really nice and tight now. I'm going to have to drop a bit of liquid tape on there because I've caught the insulation there. Now what I'm going to do now is to try and attach this to one of these points. Good idea. I never thought of that before. Good, huh? Right, we're in. We've got the wire soldered to the chassis in a way that it is not a dry joint by using blowtorch and iron. I've never done that before. This is all new to me, this. It's botching as far as I'm concerned. I don't like doing stuff like this. So it's in. The wires are wired up correctly. I can guarantee you I'll be doing things differently on the other radio. Definitely. I don't quite like the way this has gone. Not at all. Be a connection block the next time. Definitely. I wish I'd done that in the first place now. You know, like I say, I would share good and bad with you guys. I share the whole lot. You know, you see, when you see a lot of people's videos, they seem to do it perfect every single time, and we all know we don't live in a perfect world. It doesn't always go that way. Well, I'm showing you how things go when they don't go the way they're supposed to go. You know, that looks an untidy mess to me. It's functional, that's all it is. The joints are good, mechanically sound joints. It just doesn't look very attractive, that's all. Not very pleased. Not very pleased at all. We see how it performs. As far as joints are concerned, they are good, but it just looks messy to me. Anyway, the only other one we've got to do now is this cap at the back here. but I'm going to have a rest. I've been on this for an hour or more. This is Sunday, by the way. It's the, I'm not sure if that's the 17th or the 18th. My watch is all up the creek. I think it's the 18th today. I'll confirm that next time I come back to the camera, okay? I'll see you when I come back. Right, and there's our other cap installed. This one here, using the coil method. Yep, beautiful, much easier. Right, I spotted something else that I'm going to have to deal with, which I wasn't going to. And what an awkward place this is in. I'll show you. Right, that there's on the maximum. I can't point because I've got one hand holding the camera and one hand holding the chassis on my knee to get the light to shine on it. But you see that large resistor with the brown on it and the slightly lighter shade of brown on the end, and underneath it there's electrolytic. It's leaking. There's a big load of fluffy stuff on top of it, which I've just removed with a screwdriver. So that's going to have to come out, but it's underneath all that lot. So that's going to have to come out. That's obviously leaking, and it goes to chassis. I think, yes it does, it goes to chassis. So it's to ground. Negative ground, I think. That's what it looks like. I'll have a closer look just to be sure, but that's what it looks like to me. Well, this tin can is out. Look at the red end, positive end. And there's a negative end, leaking. Now we know what this is. I mean, we could look at this schematic, that would tell us. It's a 50 microfarad and it's 25 volts. I'm sure I've got something like that in there somewhere. And it'll be a lot smaller than this, so we should be able to get it in, no problem. Positive end goes that way. Negative end to ground. Negative ground. So let's go out for our stash and see what we can find. We will hopefully something smaller. Right, we've cut out the cap, and I have nothing out of all those in there that are suitable. Either the values are right, the voltages are too low, or the voltages are wrong. Sorry, the values are wrong, and vice versa. So, this is a mental note for me. This here, which goes to here, is the positive end, and this little tab here is negative ground. Goes to this point here, and on that point there are loads of connections. There's a lot going to ground in that point. This one here, this is going to have to go as well, because it goes off one of the pins of this tube. I don't know what tube it is without looking at the other side. And it also goes to ground, so that's going as well. And then we'll have a switch on. So as we can't do any more until that cap turns up, that one and the one we've cut out, we're pretty snookered. So until that company that I deal with comes off holiday, we're stuffed. I did go onto eBay to see how much, and they were asking stupid money, absolutely ridiculous. I'm not paying that, no way. So it's just a matter of waiting, but I'm not in a hurry. I've had a little bit of clean around. I've got some more of the crap off some of these parts underneath here. As you can appreciate, it's pretty groggy in some areas. I mean, we did get most of it out. And then we'll do a switch on, and and then we can start taking some voltage readings and see how things are, and then after that we will start looking at these Hunt's caps, but we see where we go up to getting these electrolytics out. Okay, I'll post this, give you something to have a look at. Thank you very much for watching. We have a new subscriber who's joined my channel from a foreign country. I think it's Poland. Welcome indeed. Look forward to hearing from you, from comments and whatever, if you want to post any comments. Much appreciative of any comments I get, good or bad. And then we can play with this. At some point, when we're not up to our eyeballs in this one, that other volume control for the other radio, I'm actually going to take that apart. I want to have a look inside. It's knackered anyway, so it's not going to make much odds. We might be able to rescue it. I don't know. We can see what the condition of the tracks are. It's certainly something I would have never ever considered taking one of those apart until now. Okay, so I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. See ya.